was up in the shop working on the bird block, and all the snow just slid, and I'm really worried we're missing some babies. Are you kidding me? Gosh dang it. Come on. If we lost them. One, two, three, four. So she got hit by some snow. 5, 6, 7, and there's two out there. All right, so I think we're okay. 8. Where's the last one? 9. Okay. After moving all that snow, I literally need to do it again now, but this is going to happen all weekend because it's so warm, and now it's starting to rain, and I was really concerned about those goats getting squashed underneath that snow when it slid, but thank heavens they were all okay. Stinking goats gave me a bloody heart attack.
Starting to see the light again.
What?
I'm starting to see the light again.
Okay. I have to install a Class 300 blind flange and gasket on the bottom of the propane tank before it can be pressure tested to 250 psi. The Class 300 flange has to be tightened in a very specific pattern, and then using a torque wrench and starting at about 60 psi, I worked my way up to 100 psi, which is what it called for. I figured this would be the last chance to put the flange on before the snow really started to melt, and I wanted to use the snow to cushion the tank while I put the flange on it. So, after getting it torqued, I'll roll it back in place, and it's going to sit here for a little bit while I wait for the snow to go away. Now that that blind flange has been installed where the pump once was on the bobtail propane tank, really all that I have left to do is change a couple of valves on the front of the tank, and then we can pressure test it. And even though it might be a little bit muddy over here, that's the plan. While our two youngest kids, Callie and Reed, are waiting for the snow to melt by finishing up their basketball seasons, I'm doing what I can to lower my anxiety around the amount of snow that we have on our roof and the fact that we're about 3 days away from a rainstorm. Yes, a rainstorm. By the way, that was a sweet shot to win the game by our youngest son, Reed. Well, this is what I hope represents the most snow that I ever have on this front porch, or the back of the house, or the entire house, and or the shop, and the water tank for that matter. I hope that we never have this amount of snow on any of our buildings around here ever again. But so far, so good. I built the house, the porch, the shops, all of the buildings to be able to handle the load that I thought we could potentially get, and we got it. Have I told you how happy I am with the old skid steer I picked up this year? If you're going to use your skid steer to knock snow off the roof like I did, do your best not to fill the cab up with snow in the process. I took my front door off the skid steer because it's warming up. One of the biggest factors with the skid steer that makes it so easy and so fast to use when moving snow is just how mobile and agile it can be. The fact that it can turn on a dime and pretty much go wherever I need it to go shortens the amount of time that I end up having to plow snow. All right, I am here with my friend Colin at Roddy Ranch. Colin is friends with my daughter, both my kids, both my older kids. And we've known Colin for a while. We need some laying hens, and Colin happens to have them. So we're going to try and catch your chickens and get them hauled up to our place. Okay. See how long they last.
Cool, sounds good.
So should we take them in there, or should we? Yeah, these were, they're not very old, right?
No, these were Christian. I think they're a year old, something like that. So when I bought this, there used to be all cow sheds and everything. This used to be a dairy for 100 head of cattle.
Okay.
So that milk barn on the other side of this, it used to be working and everything. And so I've stripped everything out, and this year we're gonna put in a backyard back here. And so I videoed kind of the whole thing, you know. Christian and I used to sit and watch your channel before he met Cheyenne. And we're like, hey, Christian.
Thanks, Colin.
See ya.
See you, buddy. Okay, Colin and Christian, Cheyenne's husband Christian, have been friends for a long time. They're all really good friends. They all hang out all the time. And we heard through the grapevine that Colin and his wife had a dozen laying hens. And of course we wanted them, so I just ran down here and picked them up. This all kind of happened because over winter I looked up the getting some chicks, and it basically showed about a 6-month waiting list for chicks. And so I don't want to wait. In light of what's happening with all of the chickens and eggs, I wanted to get my hands on some chickens pretty quick. So anyway, thank you, Colin. Go check out his channel over at Roddy Ranch and just see all the fun stuff that they're doing over there.
Welcome home.
I tried to move that stuff around. Pocket knife? I hope I left it inside, but it should. Well, that didn't take long. Look at, see, that's a rooster. That's another rooster. And they're eating the food. So he needs to go then, this guy? So, what do we got, 16 or 18 of them, or are we over 20?
Oh, you're right.
It is, right? So we got 2 roosters. 20 birds at the moment, 2 roosters, and our other layers are about, this will be probably the 3rd or 4th summer, so they're getting old enough now where we want to get some new birds working their way into the flock. So they like to say about a dozen hens to 1 rooster, but we don't like having any more than 1 rooster around. So this is our main guy. What's his name? What do we call him?
Big Red.
Big Red. He came from the golf course in town.
So, yeah, somebody, they don't know where he came from.
They don't know where he came from, but we liked him. He's nice and colorful, and he is a what? What do we figure he was?
I can't remember that breed. I have to look it up.
He's a pretty bird.
Yeah, he's really.
But that one is the one that's. But this is another rooster here that we probably need to get rid of.
Funny story about the rooster is that he showed up at my friend's doorstep right after she lost her son. So he kept coming to the door, and so when he left, she cried. She was really sad. But I send her pictures every once in a while to let her know that Big Red's okay. But
Big Red is what they called him.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of wandered the streets down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're happy to have him. Okay, let's get out of here so they can. They're making it dusty.
death trap out here.
Look how that little black one walks. I can't tell if it's got a hurt leg or not. It acts. They both kind of prance a little bit. I guess they're okay. They're not too bad.
They'll figure it out.
Are we okay to go in?
Taking care of Mom over here.
I need to get the bird block installed across the back of the shop, and I found some neat galvanized louvers that I'm going to use for the venting. Once the bird block has been installed across the back of the shop, I need to finish moving the window to its new location. And then I have the door at the bottom of the stairs where there is currently a window and wiring running underneath that window. And before I can cut that door in, that wire has to be moved. So one of the next major steps is to get that door framed in and then get all of the electrical and plumbing finished up. The springtime is a magical time of year for so many reasons. And as I watch the snow melt, the anticipation is sometimes unbearable because of all of the ideas and the things that have been bouncing around in my head while I've been waiting for the snow to go away. This spring will be no different. We've got some exciting projects planned around here that I can't wait to get to. But as soon as it warms up and stays warm, the siding on the front of the house, as well as the shop, is going to get stained, hopefully for the final time, at least for a few years anyway. And all of this board and batten siding across the back of the shop, I'm going to have to adjust a little bit to work with the new window placements. While I'm waiting for the snow to melt, I'm going to get the shop finished up on the inside. All of the electrical and plumbing are next. Then once that's all taken care of, Getting some drywall hung and getting the walls covered and the ceiling insulated should go pretty fast from there. Whether I like it or not, it's still going to be a little while before the ground is dry enough to start running gas lines and getting the bobtail propane tank relocated for the final time, so I need to focus on the shop until the ground is dry. This is the last opening I need to cut in the shop, and that's going to be where the new door is to enter right up to the stairs in the loft. And I have to get that at least framed up so I can figure out where the wires are going to go around it. So I've got some wires that I have to move now. So I've got to get this done and taken care of, get the electrical finished up, get the plumbing finished up, get the inspections ordered. And then in the meantime, just keep an eye on all the snow and the water. And we're basically stuck up here until we can see how fast this is going to melt off. And what's happening already is it's barely getting down below freezing at night. And that means the snow never stops melting, really. So I worry this is going to happen a little faster than we want it to. But anyway, thank you guys for hanging around and watching, and we will see you in a few days.